Well, hello class, my name is Miss Leslie and today we're going to learn how to make your own barbecue sauce. If you ever had that dinner where you're like, oh, we ran out of our favorite barbecue sauce, so I have a great recipe for you. It's going to be posted down below, and we're going to start with cutting up an onion, and I'm going to leave it up to you how you cut up your onion. You're going to peel it and then cut it as small or as big as you want, because we're going to be blending it in the blender when it's all done. So it's not that important how you cut it. And then we're going to do 2 cloves of garlic. And my favorite way to do garlic is probably one that you already know, but I'll just tell you anyways. Cut both ends off and then smash it with your knife in the palm of your hand, and then the outer layer comes off really easy, otherwise it's so hard. So if you're not going to be chopping it up very much, you can just put it in to your pot. Now I'm going to show you what I did already. I let the onions and the garlic caramelize, and there's no better smell than onions cooking and with garlic, I'll tell you that, with 2 tablespoons of oil. So that's like a lovely little browned and a little translucent onion. And then we're gonna let this cook for, like, if you didn't already do it like me, it would be like 5 minutes on the stove on medium heat. And then we're gonna start putting our other ingredients together, and we'll add that to this and let it go another 10 minutes. But we'll combine all the ingredients because it has cornstarch in it. And if you add cornstarch to something hot, you're just gonna get a bunch of white cooked little globs. So that's what's so important about that. But I'll go ahead and add some of these ingredients actually to the pot, because it doesn't necessarily matter except for the cornstarch in the water. 2 cups of brown sugar. And I know that sounds like a lot, and this recipe does make a lot, but there's so many things you can do with barbecue sauce. Like, you can do ribs, you can use it for chicken, for beef, which I have going right now. So we got the 2 cups of sugar and then 1 can of tomato sauce. And I love this recipe because it uses all the ingredients that I probably have around already. So I'm gonna do that, and I always wash my cans first. You never know who had touched them before, so even before the pandemic. And 1 can or jar of pineapple, and looks like I gotta take this little thing off, and I'll use this knife to do that. This again, we're going to be blending it afterwards, so you don't really have to worry about, you know, the chunks, or like if you want to get crushed pineapple, you can do that, but the chunks are just fine. And then let me check my recipe, half a cup of vinegar, and I use apple cider vinegar. You can use probably whatever vinegar you like. And then 2 teaspoons of mustard. And this is just the regular mustard, but if you want to do the Dijon or something stone ground, that would be really tasty as well. And then a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And Worcestershire makes everything taste better. Then 1 ingredient that you may or may not have is blackstrap molasses, and I usually get this around Christmas time to make gingerbread cookies with, and it lasts forever, so it's a good thing to have on hand. About 1/4 cup of blackstrap molasses. I'm gonna let that drain a little bit, and then we've got a bunch of spices. Oh, this is just the oil that I already put in when I cooked the onions and garlic. Here we have a nice array of things. This is cornstarch, and this we want to mix in with cool or cold water first. So we're going to add half a cup of water to just our spice mixture. I'm going to add that in my bowl. 2 tablespoons of chili powder, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. Let me see what this is. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and that's kind of something that you would normally put with cookies or something, but this goes in the barbecue sauce. And something that my sister told me that is a secret ingredient for a lot of recipes, and lately I've been seeing it a lot more, 1 teaspoon of cocoa. So I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to put this in my bowl. And I guess cornstarch is kind of sticky, so I'll use the back of this to get this off. But cornstarch is what makes this sauce all nice and thick, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to do half a cup of water, and I'm going to use this 1/4 cup that I used for the molasses because I still got a little bit of molasses in there. So I'll do 2 of these. There we go. And then we'll just mix this up till we get the cornstarch all incorporated. And then, ooh, it already smells good. Then we'll add this to our pot, and we'll let it go about another 10 minutes. And we want it to come to a boil again, so we'll stir it occasionally. And also, yeah, I forgot to mention, with the onions and garlic, you do want to occasionally stir that so it doesn't burn. We're just gonna stir this all up, and this is gonna go for 10 minutes, but you could have it go for longer too if you wanted. Let me see if you can see this. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it before it starts to pour out, but I think you can see a little bit of that. So this is gonna go and it will thicken up and it'll be really nice. Then we're gonna blend it, but we don't wanna put a hot mixture into the blender because it will just explode everywhere, and then there'll just be this like hot mess everywhere. So I like to use about a cup at a time of the barbecue sauce, blend it, and then transfer it into something like this. So, and then while you're, and that can go in the fridge, and it actually makes more than this, so I have some stew meat cooking with the remainder of it, so you can see it makes a lot. So if you want to do a half recipe, you can totally do that. We go through a lot of barbecue sauce though, so I'm happy to have this much to cook with. And I just wanted to show you a little hint, like when I'm cooking, I don't want to keep using a lot of spoons or you know, get my fingers in it. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit, and just to taste test it, I'll put it on my wrist, and that way I can put this back into the pot and taste it. It's delicious. Hope you have fun with your next barbecue, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.